Good morning, Algebra. Guys, Chapter 13 test. It is for real. It's also the last video of this class. That's crazy. Alright, guys. So let's just jump right to it. Again, multiple choice, easy as pie. For this one, there are more than one. Again, think of fractions. And we need to find common denominator for what type of fractions. Let me know. Number 2, classify the function. And like I said, it's not rational because there's no variable in the denominator. Number 3, state the excluded values for the expression. Basically, all we're going to do is we're going to solve this guy for 0, for the zeros. Remember, we did that like an entire chapter. So basically, 2 x minus 5, x plus 5 equals 0. What makes this piece equal 0? Well, 2 is never going to equal 0. What makes this piece equal 0? And then what makes this piece equal 0? We're going to have x equals, and we're going to have 2 values. Given the rate of workers, find the combined rate of all, or to find the combined rate of all individuals working together, you must blank the different rates. So think of it like this. If I am mowing my lawn, but I want you guys to come help me. If I mow at this rate, and the 4 of you mow at these rates, are we going to add the different rates, subtract the different rates, multiply the different rates, or divide the different rates? There's one answer. Just tell me an operation. Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Which one is it? The least common multiple. Now this has 3 different parts. The outside parts, and then the inside part, and the other inside part. 1, 2, and 3. Find the least common multiple of these numbers, and then these variables, and then this is a different piece, this is a different piece. You don't need to FOIL this. You could just leave them as factors. Number 6. When the rational equation simplifies to this, the rational equation has its Jaren's favorite answer. This is from, I think it was 13.5, where we talk about the different variations. Double check that. Again, the horizontal asymptote measures the y value. So which one of these pieces is going to affect the y value, is going to adjust it up or down, and then the horizontal asymptote is going to adjust it left and right. The horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals a certain number, and the vertical asymptote is going to be x equals a certain number, where these two certain numbers, x comma y, is going to be this. X comma y is going to be the center f of x. Okay, moving on. Moving right along. Okay, this one is kind of a beast. Remember, keep, change, and flip. Now, before we do that, let's factor all of these little pieces. So, out of this top one, I could get yz, and I'm going to be left with y minus z over y plus z. Ooh, that should be y plus z. Now I'm going to change this, and I'm going to flip it. Now I know I know this is going to end up on the bottom, but y squared minus z squared that's one of my fancy dancy little special patterns, which you guys, I know you guys know so dang well. So I'm just going to write it because I know you know it. I know you know that it's y plus z and y minus z. And then this guy, y squared plus 2yz plus z squared is y plus z squared, or I'll just write it twice, y plus z. I know you guys know those. Can I cross cancel anything? The answer is pretty simple. I'm going to do a similar process over here. Factor the top and bottom, see if there's anything up, and see if there's anything that she can eliminate. Same with here. What's nice is, again, we're subtracting, so we need common denominators. We have common denominators. So it's going to end up being pretty straightforward. But if you can, after combining, can you, so 1, combine, 2, simplify by elimination, or elimination. Simplify by elimination. And yes, you will be able to eliminate, and it will be a simpler factor. Okay, now this. Oh, this. Now, because this does not have the same denominator, it needs to have it. So I need to multiply both top and bottom by this. Now, I'm going to rewrite it as 3x squared minus y squared. Whoa. Over x squared minus y squared plus negative x y squared over y squared. Okay. Now I'm going to factor. I know that x squared minus y squared, much like this guy up here, x, or where it's the a squared minus b squared, turns into a plus b, a minus b. I know that. So I'm going to do that. 3a plus b, a minus b, x plus y, x minus y. I'm going to include this guy. This is going to be plus y minus negative x plus y over x plus y, x minus y. Now, watch what I do. This is number 12. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, got it. Okay. So there's a couple kind of funny things. And once I get to this point, because I factored it, I can't do any elimination, right? Because I've got this pesky plus sign, and that's not going to help me out. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to work backwards, and I'm going to go from here. I'm going to multiply this out, and I'm going to keep it in its quadratic form. So that's going to be 3x squared minus 3y squared minus xy plus y squared over x squared minus y squared. So let's see what this does. Now what I could do is I can combine this and that. I'm sorry, this and that, my y squareds. So that's going to give me 3x squared minus xy minus, so negative 3y squared plus y squared is minus 2y squared over x squared minus y squared. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this fancy factoring step. Watch what I do. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it over here. This 3x squared minus y squared, you're just going to have to kind of trust me. I'm going to do a fancy step. Turns into 3x plus 2y x minus y over, and then I'm going to factor this again. We already know that as x plus y, x minus y. We could eliminate this guy, and our answer is that 3x plus 2y over x plus y. Okay, that's a freebie. You're welcome. Again with division. These are awful. I'm so sorry, guys. But this is the division, so watch what I do. This is going to be 2 plus x over 2 times, and I'm going to, so if I were to divide by this piece, I need to keep change flip, times 8 over x squared minus 16. Okay, now I need to combine these, combine like terms, and then I'll probably want to factor this right away, and then you'll be able to solve that. Again, here we need the least common multiple. I'll tell you the least common multiple is this, or it's the product of these two factors. So you're going to need to multiply this guy by that, this guy by that, combine like terms, cross, 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 factor, 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 factor. It gets pretty nice. Now, solving for number 15, again, it's pretty similar. We're going to need to multiply everything by the LCM. In this case, the LCM is 1x minus 1, which we know is x squared minus 1. So you're going to multiply this by that. You're going to be able to cross some things out, combine your like terms, solve. You'll end up with two different factors. It does, you know, why don't I just work this one out? So I'm going to multiply this by, this is going to be, when I multiply the whole business by x squared minus 1, what I get is 9 times x minus 1, right? Because this cancels out with that factor, minus 2 times x plus 1, right? Because this cancels out with that, equals x squared minus 1. So that's 9x minus 9 minus 2x minus 2 equals x minus 1. Okay. So that's, after combining all my like terms, that's 7x minus 11. 7x minus 11 equals x squared minus 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to subtract, because I want this to be positive. That's going to make my diamond a lot easier. So I'm going to subtract the whole business, 7x minus 11. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Plus 11, right? Because when you subtract a negative, you add. So that's going to give me x squared minus 7x plus 10 equals 0. I've got 10 on top, negative 7 on the bottom. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. Add them together for the negatives. And because this is a positive 1 coefficient, I'm going to have x minus 2, x minus 5 equals 0. Solve for x. What you're going to do, x minus 2 equals 0, and x minus 5 equals 0. Okay. Now we are on to page number 3. Okay. After completing several tests, quizzes, homework assignments, Tammy has 78% out of 700 points in Algebra 1. If Tammy can earn 90% for the rest of the semester, how many more points does she need to raise her grade up to 80%? So she has 78% of 700 points out of this many total points. So she has 78, well, percentages, the decimal is 0.78. 78 of always indicates multiplication, 700. This equals her current points. And so she currently has, after doing some fancy multiplication, 546. Tammy's current point total. Okay. But what she wants is a total of 80%. So again, that's 0.8 or 0.8. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is just because it's, we haven't really talked about this. So currently she has 546, but she's going to add her 90% on all the remaining points. That's our variable. We don't know how many points are coming. And the total available is 700 plus however many points are remaining. So now I'm going to multiply this by both sides, leaving me with 546 plus 0.9p equals 0.8, 700 plus p. Okay. Solve for p. Number 17. 1931, Frank Wyckoff ran that far that fast. Although this should have been a world record, his time was disqualified because the officials believed it was impossible for a human to run that fast. So they just didn't believe him. How fast to the nearest mile per hour did Frank run? So we need to convert this seconds to miles per hour. So what I need to do is I need to convert. So he ran 100 yards in 9.3 seconds. But I need to convert that to miles per hour. So how many miles are there in a yard? In 1 mile. So this is converting to miles. There are 1760 yards. And then I need to convert it from seconds to hours. And in 1 hour, because I want it miles divided by hours, In 1 hour, there are 3,600 seconds. And that will equal however many miles per 1 hour. So multiply straight across, then divide. And then once you get here, simplify, and that will equal his. It's a nice straight number. Okay, I'm running out of time. I might need to do a second video, so why don't I just set these up for you. Again, this is going to be rate times time equals distance. We have the going and returning. Going is just his straight rate. We don't exactly know what it is, but returning, we know it's going to be 5 miles an hour faster. Rate plus 5. The distance in all was 100 miles. And we know that time equals distance divided by our rate. So 100 over r. In this case, it's 100 over r plus 5. And we know that the time, or one round trip there and back again, so this plus this equals 5. Now what we need to figure out is we need to solve for r. Yes, you do need to multiply. Our LCM is r times r plus 5. You need to multiply that all the way through, solve for r. Once you get to the rate, we know that a rate must be positive. You can't go negative miles an hour. So once you get the positive rate, you'll take that here, or the rate plus 5 there for the coming and going. Oh, I'm running out of time. So we will go over 19 and 20 on Friday. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, you just won't have the answer for it. Best of luck, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll get to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I will see you Friday at noon. That's tomorrow. Okay, love you. Bye.